Welcome to another episode of the Online Prosperity Experience podcast. You're about to hear your host, Prosper Taravinga's powerful digital marketing strategies and actionable tactics that you can use right now. Prosper has helped more than 50,000 people from over 10 countries to create meaningful businesses that are profitable and enjoyable. Listen to this podcast so that you too can build your own business with less stress and overwhelm. Let's get started.
Here are 5 ways for you to make your business coaching relationships a success. And I'm talking in terms of you being coached. Okay. So yes, you might be thinking, this is not the podcast for me. I'm already a coach or I'm already a consultant. Why do I need a coach? Well, I'm here to tell you, everybody should have a coach. And this is not my words. This is the guy who made Google himself, Eric Schmidt. He says everybody should have a coach because he had a coach himself. Okay. Now, the definition of a coach obviously is someone whose job is to teach and help you improve on something. So you might be good at your consulting, your training, your information, your expertise, right? But is your health in check? Is your wealth in check? Are your relationships in check? Do you have a spiritual, mindset? Or even mindset is something else that you need a coach on. So there's no way you can be an all-rounder. And if you really want to create a business that's profitable and enjoyable, your whole system should be firing on all cylinders, okay? So you might have an expertise maybe in finance, but your health is lagging behind. And you cannot be a financial success when you are a health failure, because you can't do well if you're not feeling well. Okay, so in this context, each and every one of us should literally have somebody that they call a coach who is helping them and teaching them to improve on one aspect of their well-being. Every successful person that I've come across in sports, in politics, in business, in entertainment, in religion, in life has had coaches. Even Albert Einstein had a coach. All right, people like Eric Schmidt, who created Google, the one thing that has all the answers, had a coach. Cristiano Ronaldo, for those that follow football. Barack Obama, Richard Branson, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins. All these people had coaches. And Tony Robbins' coach is now my coach. Do you know who he is? I'll leave that for you to work out. And even the Buddha has a coach. All right? At any given moment, we are going to need people that can show us the way. We're going to need people that can, show us the light so that we can do things cheaper, better, faster. In life, we're here to live, we're here to learn, and we're here to contribute. So in order for us to live the best life, we need to learn how to live the best life. And once we've learned how to live the best life, we need to contribute for others, just so that we have our own fulfillment. You can't give off what you don't have. So that's the reason why you're going to need to find coaches along the way that will help you, and learn all the things that you need to learn faster so that you can actually start enjoying the life that you want to live. So none of these people that I mentioned, Cristiano Ronaldo, Barack Obama, Richard Branson, none of these people got to where they were or where they are in life on their own. In Africa, we've got this statement: if you want to go far, go alone. But if you want to go further, go together. And if you're still scrapping your head who Tony Robbins' coach was, it was Jim Rohn. I just had to close that loop for you, because otherwise you're probably going all around thinking, wait a minute, who is this guy? Now am I going to walk on coals just to get to know who Tony Robbins' coach is? Get it? Walk on coals. So at the end of the day, the people that I mentioned, Barack Obama, Cristiano Ronaldo, they all realized early on that they would get more out of their self if they had the support, if they had the advice, And especially, as a coach or a consultant, that most of the time, the stuff that we're teaching people or we're, helping people solve problems on is stuff that they can Google online or they can read a book about. But the fact that we're there to hold them accountable, that is the essence of having a business coach or a spiritual coach or a financial coach or a relationship coach. Even having multiple coaches, because we've got many facets to our lives. Who are you learning from? All right? So we have, all had coaches in life. You might think, oh no, I'm self-made or things of that nature. Who taught you how to speak? Who taught you how to play football? Who taught you how to, maybe do maths? Who taught you how to play a musical instrument? I mean, the only musical instrument I can play is the iPod. So you can tell who taught me that. It would have been a parent, a teacher, or an instructor. Every one of these people assumed the role of coach in our lives. And they're all the types of coaches that not only taught you something, but actually helped you improve on getting the thing better. You know how you throw, a free throw in basketball and, shooting hoops and things like that. Did you know that you actually need to just aim at that little square that is, on top of the hoop? I did not know that. But I had a coach who instructed me that if I aim at any corner within that square, I'll be able to sink a basket. So who taught you what you know right now? Who taught you anything that you now have as a skill? I remember reading somewhere that at 31, Cristiano Ronaldo, still sees the benefit of having a coach and continue playing world-class football, even if he's the greatest footballer of all time. When Barack Obama was president, even when he was, I think it was about 55, he still needed coaches to continue to be president of the United States. And you think he's on top of the world. He is the leader of the free world. But he still had people that were coaching him. I don't know if it was the good people or the bad ones. You decide. But he had coaches. Even Oprah Winfrey. You get a coach. 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 She still relies on coaches to stay one of the most respectable people in the entertainment industry. Because if she doesn't, she'll end up like Kanye West or like Kim Kardashian. You're gonna need coaches to keep you accountable for you to stay in your lane and actually produce much more than you ever thought was possible by your own self. Because guess what? Can you imagine when you're going on a diet? Sometimes you're like, I'll just have this chocolate. It won't make a difference. I'll just have this muffin. It won't make a difference. Wrong. Anytime you don't keep yourself accountable, at least if you've got somebody who keeps you accountable, guess what that does? You now have a moat around the result and the goal that you want to achieve so much that you can never, go back to where you were before. So the coach that Barack Obama has, can you imagine when there's a war out there and he decides, I don't know how to deal with this. He's going to need people around him that are specialists in their own fields to give him the direction as to where to go and hold him accountable for the decisions he's going to make. So it's usually these coaches that have helped maybe to educate, empower, advise, and hold accountable and supported Obama to his success, supported Cristiano Ronaldo to his football greatness, supported Oprah Winfrey to become everybody's best friend. I think it was Paul Doolan. He's a behavioral scientist. Look him up, from the London School of Economics. If I'm wrong, just type it in the comments and remind him. He wrote a best-selling book that's called Happiness by Design. And guess what he says? He says, just as people have for years been maybe employing personal trainers to help them get fit and lose weight, so too is achieving goals can be accelerated by using an advisor or coach to apply similar principles in life. Business is a game. So if you're going to show up in this game of business ill-prepared, guess what? You will be sweeping the floor all the way to the bottom, eating the dust of those people that have coaches. And not only is a coach going to just show you what not to do and how to keep you accountable, but basically they will see around corners and see the things that you cannot see. Because you cannot see the picture if you are in the frame. So what a coach will do is he will extrapolate all the things that you want to do, use their experience, and put you on the right path, cheaper, better, faster. If you think the bill of having a coach is expensive, try the bill of failing. Successful people always ask for help. You know? At the end of the day, very few of us have the means to maybe employ a team of people. Maybe if we do, then we have those people to help us maybe solve the problems that come across. You know? But let me tell you something. You've got access to the great minds out there in terms of coaches. Remember, no man is an island. You rely on your friends, on your family, on your support in order for you to reach your goals. So which people are you actually taking along the journey with you so that you, my friend, can have a business that's profitable and enjoyable? So along with your family and your friends, there are countless of support networks on and offline, and there you might actually find coaches. But the whole thing about this podcast is not for you to go out and look for a coach. It's for how do you actually make the most of that relationship. I'm going to get to there, but I just really wanted to state the case because maybe Sally, who's a coach, is thinking, oh, I know it all. Because you know what? Knowing it all is the fastest way to actually knowing nothing. So if you're learning a new skill, you find maybe, a course to learn, find somebody who's written a book about it, who's doing a podcast about it, learn from somebody so that you avoid the mistakes that people that are doing that particular thing, do. Because what coaches do is they see around the corners and they help you not, fall prey to the whatever you might come across that you might not know. Right now, yes, you're an expert in your business, but do you know how to actually generate leads for your business? Because I know you right now. You're probably calling clients and having them hang up in your face. Didn't that just happen? Or you're probably sending out hundreds of emails without getting as much as, hey, thanks for reaching out. Do you know people actually thank you for reaching out to them if you're giving them value? Did you even know that? Or you're just being told, hey, stop spamming us. Or maybe you're just jumping onto whatever Facebook fad or TikTok fad, or we're wasting thousands of dollars on ad spend without even generating any qualified leads. That's you, I know. That's the reason why you're listening to this podcast. So if your goal is to get fit, if your goal is to get wealthy, if your goal is to, win some sort of a race, look for local classes, look for personal trainers, somebody who will help you arrive faster than you would ever do it by yourself. Heck, we've got all the information that ever has been in the world at the tip of our fingers. Instead of gossiping out there, look for online exercise videos. They could be free or paid, whichever way you want to learn, but learn from other people that have already gone through what it is that you're, trying to achieve. Or maybe you're looking to start your own business. Look for maybe a local business person to be a coach or a mentor, or alternatively find an online mentor or coaching course just so that you avoid the mistakes, right, that a lot of people go through, especially when they're trying to do things by themselves. You have to keep an open mind, and you have to understand that you will create the success and no one else will do it for you. But let me tell you something. A good coach will get you there a whole lot faster. Right? If you want to cut corners, ask somebody who's been on that road and ask them how they got to where they are right now. So I want to share with you why every investment that I've ever made in our business, in my home, has always had a coaching and mentoring component to it, and it has actually provided a positive ROI. When I came to Australia, I knew no one. You know, I had a backpack full of hopes and dreams. One of the first things that I started doing was modeling. And when I noticed that a lot of models were not getting jobs or were not getting paid for the work that they were doing, I started searching within the industry. And guess what I discovered? The ones that were getting paid had gone through a modeling course. And during the modeling course, you're taught confidence, you're taught how to speak, you're taught how to present yourself, you're taught just about everything else. The skills that all the other people that were going at it by themselves, were not taught. Yes, maybe you're taught how to walk on the ramp and maybe how to dress and things of that nature. But there are certain things that people that are on the outside never got to learn. And look at the positive ROI. Have you seen my photos? Even if I'm doing my business, it just looks like it's just a male model who just standing there. I wouldn't be where I am today if I did not invest to work with coaches and mentors. Every single day, I'm learning something new. Every single day, I'm looking at what other people that are in the space that I want to reach out to are doing. And I'm implementing all of those things so that I can actually achieve those results. Success leaves clues. Why invent mediocrity when you can copy genius? You know? So I've done it constantly, year over year, and I'm working with different kinds of coaches to support my business because every level has its own devils. So in order for me not to, make a mistake trying to figure it out by myself, I just ask people that have done it before, hey, you've got $1 million right now. How did you get it? And people that have succeeded are always eager to tell you how they did it. If you look at any top performers in any given industry, whether they're athletes, they're artists, or in business, they all have coaches. And guess what? They're out there on YouTube talking about how they did it, giving you a success plan. There's no Olympic athlete out there who doesn't have a coach. Have you ever noticed that when they're doing something, their coach is by their side, telling them, remember, we've done this before. So what a coach does is helps you practice. And then when game day comes, you just work from muscle memory. And one thing about a coach is they keep you accountable. Like your parents, you never want to disappoint them if you're a kid. All right? So that's what then happens on game day. The relationship that you have with your coach will be proven on the day that you're actually supposed to perform. You're only just rehearsing what we did during practice. We get paid in public for what we have rehearsed in private. You know? There's no artist that has never had a coach or mentor or gotten their style from somebody. You know, or maybe have had somebody help them bring out the best inside of them, because we are societal beings. We are going to need other people to lift us up at any given moment. It just so happens that we live in a capitalist society. You got to pay for good stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell there, but you get it, right? Plus, I'm just passionate about this kind of stuff because we're here to live, we're here to learn, and we're here to contribute. So if you want to unlock your potential and get a certain result faster, instead of trying to figure it out by yourself, get yourself a coach. Get yourself a marketing coach. Get yourself a social media coach. Get yourself a TikTok coach. Be as granular as you can. People have written books. People have written, doing videos. Podcasts like this are out there right now teaching subject after subject. And you're sitting there and just trying to figure it out all by yourself. You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands full. All right? Sometimes we just try to be too much perfectionists and then we end up making a mess anyway. Whoa, we're already 20 minutes in. I just wanted to share this real secret as to why I've always had a positive ROI while I was working with a coach. But the one thing that needs to happen is if you go out and find a coach, don't expect the coach to give you results. It's on you. Right? I mean, whenever you go into a situation where you're working with a coach or a mentor, you end up thinking that it's their job to make you successful. No, it's your job. You listening to me right now. Yes, I might just be delivering a message, and it's your job to actually find the right coach that can help you get to where you want to be. But it's not their responsibility to ensure that you're a success. Every time I see nasty reviews on a coach's page, I feel sorry for the coach, because the coach was only doing as much as they could do. You can bring a horse to the river, but you can't force a horse to drink. That's your responsibility. You hired the coach. The coach is just going to help you understand things that might not have made sense while you're doing it by yourself. And that's really important, because I see a lot of people who reach out maybe to work with a coach, and they almost expect the coach to write the exam for them. They expect the coach to do the running for them. They expect the coach to create the website for them. They're looking to put in minimal amount of work, and they're expecting the coach to do all the hard work for them. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it works. If you expect that, then you're setting yourself up for some real disappointment, because the coach is just there to help you keep accountable and to keep you straight and narrow. You're the one who has to be in control of your own destiny. I mean, it's fine to work with a coach, but if you're not prepared to put in the work or to follow whatever recommendations that you are going to receive, or if you delay in taking action on any of those recommendations, then you're not going to get the results that you're hoping for. Understanding that it's on you. You are the person who is controlling your own destination is ultimately what will create the success that you see in all the people that you envy, that you see in Cristiano Ronaldo, that you see in Barack Obama, that you see in Oprah. They apply themselves. Don't expect other people to do the work for you. It's like, drinking poison and expecting somebody else to die. Or a very good one, you want the abs that your instructor has, and you want to just go and sit there and watch your instructor do the sit-ups, and then you get the abs. You want to go full on with implementation, because this person is giving you access to information that you might not have had you not contacted this person. I mean, we're always thinking, who should we work with, or, what are the specific areas of our business we're looking to improve or maybe tighten up, or, whose expertise can we benefit from? I mean, we may already know somebody who can help us. And we might have already spent some time searching for that, person or whatever it is, shiny object that's out there. But once you find them, it's time to say, okay, let's implement, let's do this. Because at any given moment, every Friday, there's always going to be something cheaper, better, faster, a new product, a new setup, a new system, which if you don't implement things that you're learning, then what's the whole point? You have to go into action. We just don't sit back with the minimum amount, required to be successful. Yes, society allows us to drive expensive cars by just paying the minimum amount possible every single week or every single month, but it doesn't work like that in business. You show up and you work, you take action, and do as much as you possibly can, and we go full on. They don't take part payments when you show up for success. So when you engage a coach or when you start reading a book, implementation is key. When you engage your coach, wake up a bit earlier if you have to. Stay up late. Do the work. Do work that matters for people who care. Put in that extra hour of work. If that's what you need to do. I'm fully committed to implementing as much as I possibly can. I noticed that Gary Vee was showing up every single day in video format. Well, I'm not really good with video, but I'm good at talking. That's why every single day I show up on podcasts Implement. Even if I haven't done anything throughout the day, but I know a podcast is out there, you are consuming my content. I'm owning this space right now. I want you to take as much action as you can based on the recommendations that the coach would have given you. I mean, maybe you've experienced this yourself. You buy a book or a course or a program and you don't even do much with it. You listen to this podcast and you don't even implement anything that you're saying. Maybe you're just addicted to be yelled at. Or maybe you're addicted to the radio voice that I have. I don't know. I don't care. Implement something. Do something. Sometimes you just feel excited and empowered that maybe you've bought something and then you feel like that's it. No. And if you don't implement, a lot of people buy courses and ebooks, and those ebooks are now gathering digital dust. And guess what happens with digital dust? It comes back to haunt you. And you start seeing other people that you started off with. Maybe you're in a group coaching, they're getting the results, and you start thinking, oh, this wasn't for me. You get embarrassed, and then you leave a bad review for that coach. That wasn't his fault. Because you were not committed to ensuring that you're doing the work that was required of you. And once you find somebody who's willing to help you, willing to give you their time, their information and expertise, don't be afraid to ask questions. My style is always to ask questions. When I show up in a place, I always want to know how they put the table inside the boardroom. That's the kind of questions that I have. You know? And how do they put all those plants inside of a glass? Those are the questions that I have. There's a lot that I don't know. And I think there's a lot that you don't know too. That's the reason why we're here on earth, to learn. But we can't learn from our own experiences. Let's learn from other people so we can shortcut the learning curve. Maybe you understand this language so we can flatten the learning curve. Those who have ears have heard what I've said. But if you think you know it all, then be prepared to die. Because what you knew yesterday is probably not relevant today. And this is not exciting. You know, what good is living an unlived life? Because if you don't know certain things that your coaches can actually extend off you, how are you going to know you're the right kind of person to be doing what it is that you're doing right now? You know, sometimes this might be difficult for you. You're probably trying to grow your business. And I know it's not easy. And you're thinking, wait a minute, I came to a marketing podcast, but all of this is relevant. If you don't learn and implement what you are being taught, all of it will be for nothing. You have to be fully committed. You have to own it yourself. It's up to you to make 100%, efforts for your success. And to be successful, you have to take action and implement whatever advice that your coach is giving. I advise that you just keep an open mind. And you have to understand that it is you that will create your success and nobody else. But a good coach will get you there a lot faster. You know why? Because they have the experience. They've probably gone through it themselves. Or they know what the next step would be. So a coach is just going to guide you through the process. They're just going to be there to support you, answer all the questions along the way. But it is up to you, my friend, to take action. That's why, regardless of what I've experienced in the years, 100% of the time, I've seen positive results and a positive return on my investment because I implement. And the faster you implement, the faster you get the results. And then you notice if something is working. What's working, you keep. What's not working, you ditch. And I've always made more, and in some cases, significantly more than what I actually invested in the program with a coach. And you know that. You're a coach yourself. You've seen people being transformed. So if you'd like help taking advantage, of streamlining your relationships with your coaches, or just learning how to maybe market your business or just really generate leads for yourself and things of that nature, why don't you allow me to coach you? Yeah, I said it. Allow me to coach you. We'll work hands-on. And we'll develop with you a strategic plan and then deep dive and work through your ideal client strategy, your strategic messaging, your consulting or your coaching offers, your fees, and then maybe your pricing. And then look at your business model. We optimize it so that it suits who you are and the delivery you're going to be putting out there. And also so that it suits the right people that you're going to be working with, so that they actually understand the value they're extrapolating from you, their coach, you, their consultant, you, their trainer, you, the information giver. And pretty much after that, I'll just help you set up your marketing engine and lead generation system so you can consistently attract your ideal clients. Now, how's that for an offer? Yeah? If you're interested in working with a coach to help you grow your coaching or consulting business, why don't you reach out to me so that we can create a business that's profitable and enjoyable for you. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, let's continue the conversation in the Live Long Digital community. Become a Live Long Digital community member today. This community is for ambitious entrepreneurs and small business owners with the drive to take control of the future of their businesses and achieve huge success without stress and overwhelm. As you heard, Prosper can help you by teaching you marketing strategies that work. So look no further than the Live Long Digital community of entrepreneurs and highly successful business owners. Join our community today. Find us on www.community.livelongdigital.com.au. Network with other driven entrepreneurs and find the expert guidance you need to take your business to the next level. www.community.livelongdigital.com.au